Hi, this animation is about orbit regression for different inclinations using computer simulation. For circular orbits, the orbit regression is given as a function of inclination and the semi-major axis. At low inclination, the orbit regression is very high, and at high inclination, the orbit regression is very slow. Typically, at about 822 kilometers height, if the inclination is 30 degrees, the orbit regression is about minus 5.65 degrees per day. Whereas as the inclination increases and goes to the polar orbit at inclination equal to 90 degrees, the regression is zero. And for a sun-synchronous orbit, which happens at an inclination of 98.69, the orbit regression is 0.9856 degrees per day. So the following animation shows visualization of orbit regression for three different inclinations. Inclination equal to 30 degrees, 90 degrees, and the sun-synchronous orbit. And the simulation is carried out for about 70 days. XYZ is the inertial frame of reference, and the red color orbit plane is the inclined orbit. The green color orbit plane is the polar orbit, and the blue color orbit plane is the sun-synchronous orbit. As you can see in this simulation, for a low inclined orbit, red color orbit plane, the orbit regression is very high. For a polar orbit, the regression is zero, and for a sun-synchronous orbit, it is approximately the same rate of the sun. Now, the same animation seen from a different direction, namely the x direction of the inertial reference frame, is shown for the next few seconds, wherein we can see the animation as seen from the x direction. Thank you very much for watching this simple simulation of orbit regression.